Now, Central Oregon's local alert weather with Katie Suniga.
Good evening, Central Oregon, and happy Monday. Hopefully you're finding a way to prep for beating the heat this week, as we're looking at a couple of days that we could make it into the 90s, which is well above average for this time of year. Here's a look off of Pilot Butte out towards the west. Very clear skies for us today, and something that we're anticipating actually for several days this week. We could see a few clouds move in and out briefly on Wednesday, but for the most part, this is the sky that we should be looking at for the next week. Here were the highs that we have reached so far today. You can see here in Central Oregon, we have made it into the low 90s, also to the 90s out in Burns, 97 down in Medford, and 93 in the Dalles, those mid 80s through the valley, low 60s to mid 70s along the coast. As we get ready for tomorrow, we are looking at potentially making it into the mid 90s here in Central Oregon, maybe even getting to the triple digits in Medford. We're looking at a very warm day for tomorrow all across the state. Here's where we're sitting right now in Central Oregon: 91 in Warm Springs, 90 in Redmond, and 90 in Bend, and then those mid to upper 80s for the rest of the area. 88 in Madras right now to 85 in Sun River and La Pine. For tonight, as you can imagine, we are going to be on the warm side. We're looking at our temperatures ranging from those low 50s in Sisters to the upper 50s in Bend, as well as in Warm Springs, and 57 in Prineville. Mostly clear for us. Then we hit tomorrow. Here's where we see those upper 90s in Warm Springs, getting close to that triple digit mark. 95 potentially in Redmond, 91 possibly in Sun River, 93 looking at that, maybe even a little bit more in La Pine. Here's the systems that are moving around us that are giving us this opportunity to break into this heat. We're seeing this ridge of high pressure today. It moves just ever so slightly, does not move too much for us into tomorrow, and you'll see that high pressure center just below us. We stay in this ridge for a while, and here's how that impacts us. So watch with me on our future track. You'll see little to no activity through Tuesday morning, even into Tuesday afternoon, until we get into the early part of the evening. A few clouds overnight and then a few in the morning on Wednesday, but you can see they're very light and do not give us much chance of any precipitation, maybe a few little drops along the Cascades, but really we're looking at a clear and a warm forecast for us all this week. Now usually we're in the upper 70s, which is still on the warm side. Tomorrow maybe a potentially high of 95. Wednesday is going to drop down pretty quick, back down into those 80s. We stay in the 80s, but by Friday we're looking at another day that we could see those low 90s, and then we're back down in the 80s again for the weekend.